Have you ever stopped to think about the incredible factory that's working inside you? Like, right now. It's on 24/7, taking everything you eat and performing this series of just amazing transformations. So today, we're going to follow the incredible journey our food takes, from the very first bite all the way to becoming body fuel.
Yeah, it all kicks off with something as simple as a bite of food. But how does that bite actually power your every move, your thoughts, and even your heartbeat? Well, we're about to follow its path from start to finish, down this amazing food superhighway that runs right through all of us.
And to make this whole journey super clear, we've broken it down into 5 key stages. First, we'll map out the main highway. Then we'll meet the essential breakdown crew. We'll see where all the good stuff gets absorbed, cover the final exit, and then, finally, connect all the dots to see how it becomes fuel for your body.
All right, first up, let's get our bearings and map out the main road itself. This is the direct route our food travels, also known as the gastrointestinal or GIT pathway.
Okay, let's dive in. The easiest way to picture the digestive tract is as one long, winding tube. Food goes in the mouth, travels down the esophagus, lands in the stomach, snakes through all the intestines, and, eventually exits. This whole path is the main line of our food superhighway. So the journey really kicks off the second you take a bite. Your mouth, or oral cavity, starts the whole process of breaking things down. And then the pharynx, that's at the back of your throat, acts like a brilliant traffic controller, making sure food goes down the right pipe, the esophagus, and not into your airway. Pretty important job. Next stop is the stomach, and you can just think of this as a powerful, muscular blender. It churns and mixes everything with some pretty strong acids, breaking it all down from solid pieces into this semi-fluid paste. And this soupy mix gets a special name. It's called chyme. So how much can this muscular organ actually hold? Well, the average adult stomach has a capacity of about 1.5 liters. That's actually a lot of room for processing our meals. Now, our superhighway doesn't work all by itself. Not at all. It has a team of essential helpers working just off the main road, and they provide some critical tools for digestion. So let's meet this breakdown crew. These helpers are what we call accessory organs. We're talking about the pancreas, liver, and gallbladder, and they are absolutely vital. See, food doesn't pass through them, but they produce and send these powerful substances into the small intestine to really help dismantle food on a chemical level. And the key tools this breakdown crew uses are enzymes. The best way to think about them is as tiny, super specific molecular scissors. Each type of enzyme is designed to cut up just one type of nutrient. You've got enzymes for carbs, different ones for fats, and others for proteins. The pancreas is a real powerhouse because it has 2 completely different major jobs. On one side, it has its exocrine job, which is releasing those digestive enzymes we just talked about to break down food. But then on the other side, it has its endocrine job, which is releasing hormones like insulin to control your blood sugar. What a multitasker, right?
So our food has been turned into that soupy chyme, it's been mixed with all those enzymes, and now we arrive at what is arguably the most important stop on the whole journey. This is the place where our body finally gets to absorb all those valuable nutrients.
Welcome to the small intestine. And don't let the name fool you. It's actually really long, and it's where the real magic happens. The first part, the duodenum, is where most of that chemical digestion goes down. The second part, the jejunum, is the main spot for absorbing most of the nutrients. And that final section, the ileum, handles the last bit of absorption, including the very important vitamin B12. Now, absorbing nutrients isn't always so simple. Some of them, like vitamin B12, are kind of picky. Your body can only absorb B12 if it's paired up with a special protein made in the stomach called intrinsic factor. Think of it like this. You need a special key to unlock the B12 absorption door.
So all the good, useful stuff has been absorbed. But what happens to everything that's left over? Well, that brings us to the final stage of our journey, where the body does a little last-minute housekeeping.
Right, so after the small intestine, all the leftover material moves into the large intestine. Its main jobs are pretty simple, but absolutely essential. First, it absorbs most of the remaining water from the waste. And second, it compacts the rest into feces, getting it ready for, removal from the body. We followed the physical journey of food all the way down the superhighway, but now let's zoom out and connect it to the ultimate goal, turning those nutrients we absorbed into actual energy that our body can use. This is why it all matters. This whole energy conversion process is called metabolism, and it really has two modes. You can think of them as breaking down and building up. Digestion is a breaking down process, or catabolic. It takes complex food and dismantles it to release energy. Then building up processes, or anabolic, use that energy for things like repairing muscle.
Okay, so the way our cells actually get this energy is through a process called cellular respiration. This is how they take the nutrients we absorbed, like glucose from carbs, and turn them into a molecule called ATP. And you can just think of ATP as the body's universal energy currency. It's what our cells spend to get literally anything done. The very first step in making that energy currency is a process called glycolysis, and it's a classic case of you have to spend money to make money. The cell actually invests a little bit of energy to kick off the process, but don't worry, the payoff at the end is a net gain of energy. So how much energy are we even talking about here? Well, we measure the energy in our food using calories. And on average, most adults need somewhere between 2,000 to 2,500 of these calories every day to produce all the ATP they need to power their bodies. Let's just quickly recap this whole incredible transformation. It's so cool. We start with food, the stomach turns it into chyme, the small intestine absorbs the nutrients, and finally our cells convert those nutrients into ATP, the actual energy that powers our entire existence, from a simple bite to cellular fuel. So, from a simple meal all the way to the complex fuel that powers life itself, your digestive system is a truly incredible non-stop factory. It really makes you think, doesn't it? What kind of fuel are you going to choose to give your factory today?